Jeff had just gotten done doing God of Carnage on Broadway, which was produced. No kidding. If anybody, I don't know if there's a chance before you ever to get to do it again. We have actually had 75% of the God of Carnage cast on the Newsroom now through for actually Jimmy Gandolfini on and it'll be pink. So Scott Rudin is our other executive producer, and Scott was the one that said Jeff Daniels. And I have been a fan of Jeff's ever since I saw him in The Land for Wilson Play called 5th of July. My reaction was, Scott, this is a fantastic actor, but Will, has some darkness on him and some anger and some coldness. This is going to be a guy we're going to fall in love with, but it's not going to be easy. And I love the exterior of Jeff, which is Midwestern, but and I kept saying, and God, was unbelievable. Purple Rose of Cairo, unbelievable. This is unbelievable in that. But I'm just, what I'm saying, and Scott just said, I'm going to meet him for lunch. Of course, I'll meet him. And obviously Scott tipped Jeff off to what my concern was. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yes, take it away.
Just shoved my head into the table.
I brought my prick self, sat down, and basically just did a lot of talking. And I might have got in your space. I might have been leaning in a little bit.
Didn't matter. You had the part. You sat down and had the part. So first of all, one thing that happened that never happens, we got our first choice on all 8 parts. That never happens. If you get lucky, your third choice turns out to be great, and you think, how could I have thought of anybody else? We got our first choice in all the parts. On Emily, this poor woman, we kept calling her back, and every time we did, she was always 3,000 miles away from wherever it was we were. She'd be on a family vacation in Vancouver. But after she got the part, and she'd been working very hard on a non-regional American dialect. She'd been working with a coach. So she got the part, and then we started rehearsals, and she was doing it with an American accent. And in the middle of rehearsal, I said, Emily, just try it once using your own voice. And it suddenly freed her up to be everything that you cast Emily Mortimer for. So I said, this is ridiculous. Nancy is from the UK.
Thank God, I wanted to kiss you when it happened. but I think I told you this, I auditioned, I think I auditioned 4 times in the end for the part. And
which by itself,
right.
Emily's not somebody who auditions. So honestly, when you see that, you see an actor who wants it, and you love that.
Well, it came to the 4th time, and I was lying in bed with my husband that night, looking up the ceiling, and I thinking, God, it's going to be so embarrassing if I don't get this job, and it might send me mad because I've never tried so hard to get anything before, and I don't know how it's going to feel if I don't get the job. And I was lying there, sort of worrying about it to him, and he said, "Oh, don't be ridiculous, just go to sleep. It's good for you. It'll toughen you up or something." And then I went, "Yes, you're right. You're quite right." And then I lay there a bit longer, and I thought about this film called Grizzly Man. Have you seen Grizzly Man? It's the most amazing documentary by Werner Herzog, all about a man who goes to look after the bears and ends up getting eaten by bears. And as does his girlfriend. But the whole trajectory of the story begins in Hollywood, where he was a young actor, starting out, jobbing actor, who auditioned 4 times for the part of Woody in Cheers, and didn't get the job, and then became an alcoholic, and then went to bed, and then got eaten by bears. So I turned over to the and then I
That's a brilliant story. What did your husband say? I was asleep. What? There, it's
We were in New York. We were having our casting sessions, and one of the casting directors said, "Okay, Sam Waterston is going to be coming in for a meeting at 2 o'clock." What do you have in your mind? I don't need to meet with Sam Waterston. What am I going to say? What have you been doing lately? John, one of the things that I'm really proud of with the cast is that we are very top-heavy with theater actors. There's just a lot of stage experience in the cast, and it shows. And the internet. And a lot, yes, right, a lot of online experience. And I think that because Emily is British, that kind of counts as stage experience. But John, I think 2 times Tony nominated.
Just the one.
Just.
I was robbed the second time, if you ask me. The guy that got nominated that year, who was in Fail It, he took matinees off, and I did it.
That's
He was also eventually eaten by a bear.
But I didn't know this until after John was cast that I had worked with him before. When he was a kid, he was on The West Wing in an episode where.
Half-hour time difference.
Yeah, do you remember?
I do remember. I knew him at the time, and I was like, "It's John's episode of The West Wing tonight."
There's this kid in the middle of Indiana who comes and picks up Brad Whitford and Janelle Maloney and Richard Schick.
You know it.
I loved this kid's performance, and I had absolutely no idea that it was John Gallagher. Alison came in, read for it, absolutely hit it out of the park. She was the only person who read for the role of Maggie. Nobody else read for Maggie. Sadoski came in and actually ate another role. It used to be that there was another character in the pilot. Tommy came in and read for Don, and was so compelling that as soon as he was done, I said, we actually don't need this other character. Why isn't it just one person that does this? And it'll be Tommy, and it's going to become this terrific character. Olivia proved writer's Darwinism, which is that if you're good, you get more, and if it doesn't quite click, you get less. That there wasn't much to do at the beginning, and then I just wanted to write more and more and more. And again, I think you're really going to love her this season, and I still cannot believe that we got Dev Patel. And this is very casting the show. And there's also, by the way, a great guest cast this season.
Oh my God!
In addition to Marcia Gay Harden, and Jane Fonda is back, and Chris Messina is back. Grace Gummer, who looks remarkably like her mother, Meryl Streep, and is a terrific talent. Constance Zimmer, who am I? Hamish Linklater is fantastic on
Can I say I'm so relieved to hear when you said that Sam Water, you're like, Sam Water, like he's going to come in, like, that's ridiculous. Because the day that I went in, my audition was, I walked in, Tom Sadoski, Alison, they're there already. I go and I sit by myself, and then I see, and I'm already nervous and so intimidated, and I remember that they were laughing and talking, and I was thinking,
We were doing a play together at the time, so we were about to head to the theater. We were like, "What the hell are we doing?"
Tom and Alison played a couple 4 times before.
So comfortable, and at least with each other, and I just, my social anxiety made me sit in a corner by myself, and then I saw Sam Waterston walking out, I'm never gonna get this show. I mean, if I'm making him read, oh my, like I didn't know I didn't know like he's just doing a meeting, but I figured everyone else like he's like, oh my gosh, I don't.
By the way, we had the exact same reaction. Sam walked up and went off.
Like, oh.
I saw Olivia and I thought, who is that shrinking violet?
Me!